I'm going to share why immersive technologies are our best chance of our survival as a species. Now, immersive technologies are things you might have heard of, like virtual reality, those glasses that can take you places or let you experience new things. Or augmented reality, which brings visual information to you. But they are also Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and machine vision. All these technologies together form this new language that lets us share emotions, that lets us look through the eyes of other human beings, let us understand different cultures. But they also can give us new forms of entertainment. For example, you could step into a movie and sit right next to James Bond during a car chase. Or you could go back in time and learn about Da Vinci's invention of the helicopter from Da Vinci himself. Or you could be a grandparent sitting at your kitchen table and play a board game with your grandchildren who are on the other side of the world. Immersive technologies makes this possible. Now in media, when we hear about this, we hear about headsets and cameras and all these technological gadgets, but tech on its own is not that interesting to us. It can actually be really boring. And that's because we as humans are social creatures by nature. If you experience something that makes you really sad or really happy or really excited, you want to share that with the people close to you. You want to share that with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Now, when technology becomes a tool that makes it easier for you to express yourself, that becomes interesting to us. And that's very natural, very primal to us. We've always been looking for better ways to express ourselves. Even back in the days, back at the dawn of humankind, we learned visual language by drawing on rocks and on cave paintings. And as spoken language evolved, we went into written language, manually copied books, into recorded photos, images, moving images, and then recorded film and sound. And that turned into this audio-visual medium. The audio-visual medium evolved from a sideshow attraction to a very powerful mass medium that involved people in stories. Now, when the first moon landing was televised, that had a huge emotional impact on lots of people. It was an inspiration, and it led many to pursue careers in science. Now, obviously, I wasn't alive during the first moon landing, but I did grow up wanting to become an astronaut. And I grew up in a non-ideal childhood home. My parents, immigrants, young, got involved with a bad crowd. They were naive, and they got addicted to alcohol, to drugs, to hard drugs, which led to domestic violence, fights over money for drugs. And that led to a broken home. Single mom, addicted, started dealing drugs to provide food and clothing, but also to support her own habit. So junkies were in our homes 24/7, which led to other problems. I remember waking up one night, I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I heard a lot of noise, and I walked into the living room, and there was this guy with his ski mask holding a gun to my mom's head, while others were searching the place for money and drugs. So ours was not a happy home. So as a kid, I dreamt. I played video games, I read comic books, I played with Lego, I created these elaborate fantasy worlds in my mind. That was the reason why I wanted to become an astronaut, to escape, for my emotional survival, my mental health. And I was a dreamer as a kid, yes. So my mom, she was worried about me. She thought, this kid, he's always dreaming, he's not going to amount to anything. She didn't think I was very bright. She loved me, but she thought I was a delusional dreamer. Now, my teachers were a lot less forgiving. They simply stated that I was dumb and impolite because I was always asking questions. And it was also the way I was asking these questions. I didn't have the language skills, the skills to communicate how I felt and what I was thinking. I understood what we were talking about in class perfectly well. I just didn't always agree. And my teacher didn't agree with me because they thought, hey, this kid is a dreamer. And as you grow up, we are taught not to dream too big, to curb our expectations. Because once you get out into the real world, you might get disappointed if you dream too big. And that pattern even repeats when people become successful. I love talking and listening to people that are inspirational, and I learn from them. But I also hear them say things like, if only one person is touched by my story, if I had made a difference in one person's life, that has made it all worth it to me. Well, no, that is not good enough. To me, immersive technologies offers a new language, a new way to share an idea, an emotion, a dream. And I don't want to reach just one person with this dream. I want to reach tens of millions, hundreds of millions. And yes, I dream big, but this is not about daring to dream big. For the problem we have to dream big. Because we as a species are running out of time. Our world is running out of time. We are running out of food, land, water, air, energy. We are running out of pretty much every resource that we take for granted in our daily lives. I'll give you 2 examples. We still use fossil fuels, while at the same time, developments in solar energy and other clean energies have gotten us to the point where you can have home-based energy storage, and many homes in the world could be made completely grid independent. We could do this, the government could help us do this, but they don't, because too many big corporations still make billions and billions off of this fossil fuel industry. At the same time, there are people that are building their own power walls for less than $1,000 and killing 80% of their power bill. Immersive technologies such as VR and AR can teach you, can show you how to do this. You, today, now. But we can, but we don't. Because as a population, we don't fully realize or don't want to realize what the consequences are if we don't stop. Through immersive technologies, we cannot show you, but you can actually experience life 20, 30, 40 years from now. You could virtually be in Venice or in Amsterdam, but you won't be enjoying the canals. You'll be learning how to swim because those cities will have been flooded. You'll be swimming in a pool of garbage and plastic that we dumped in there. You'll be trying to come up for air in this layer of dead fish. Now, experiencing this in virtual reality goes beyond just showing it. You will feel that it's hard to breathe. You will feel that the world is too hot. You will feel the desolation and the despair of this future that we're creating. And then there's global healthcare. We currently have a global shortage of 1 million surgeons. That's going to be 2 million by 2030. Across the globe, people don't have sufficient timely access to basic surgical procedures. And I'm not just talking about developing countries. In cities like Amsterdam, London, New York, the waiting times for basic surgical procedures are unnecessarily long, and the cost put them out of reach for many. Now imagine that 1,000 medical students could do their residency with the best mastectomy surgeon in the world, from their dorm room at low cost. Within a year, we'd be able to save the lives of tens of thousands of women who would otherwise die from cancer. We can, but we don't. Immersive technologies can bring scalable medical education to the world. But imagine if we would do that. If we shared the skills of those few really capable surgeons with tens of thousands of students, the profits that those hospitals make go down. Now, research at Stanford has shown that if you learn something through virtual reality or other immersive technologies, that is a more effective way to communicate and transfer skills and knowledge compared to reading a book or listening in a classroom or watching a video. So we can, but we don't, because maintaining the status quo, maintaining that bottom line, maintaining that profit for the few is more important than saving the lives of the many. Now, this is not just about fossil fuels and about medical care and the state of healthcare. Immersive technologies touch pretty much every industry that you can think of. Now, for me, immersive technologies was a realization of my childhood dream to explore new worlds and to create. The discovery of this new language has allowed us to share skills and knowledge in a way that was not possible before, if we dare to dream big. And yes, I am a dreamer. I was a dreamer growing up as a kid. But I was also realistic enough to know that if I wanted change in my life, I was the one that had to make that happen. I didn't have anyone to ask for help. As the bigger kid that I am now, I have realized and learned that I don't have to do it alone. I can ask for help. Help to share this message with millions of people, to show them that there is still a chance of improving quality of life, of making life easier and better, and of turning this world around from this path of self-destruction that we are on. If we dare to take responsibility. Now there's this saying, an individual raindrop never feels responsible for the flood. You now have the tools to spread knowledge and practical skills with the world at an unprecedented scale and speed. That is the message, that realization that you, as that individual raindrop, can be that tidal wave of change. And that's also where the paradox comes from. We as humans have this natural desire to evolve, to grow, to get better at things, to learn to express ourselves in better ways. But we also have a natural resistance to change. Now I am asking you to not fear change. I'm asking you to let go of any preconceptions that you might have about virtual reality or technology. You don't have to take my word for it, but decide for yourself. Explore this new language. Explore this new language and judge for yourself. See if this can actually make a change in the world. And once you've done that, once you've gone through that, and if you come out of it with the same conclusions that I have, then I will ask you, help me share this message with the world, for I believe that it is our best chance of survival as a species. Thank you.